Let me first and foremost thank the previous speakers, Professor Odiaka, Praise, and Mr. Yego. Thank you so much for well-articulated presentations. My name is Ernest Timothy. I'm a certified management consultant, fellow Institute of Management consultant, and currently works with an international consulting firm called Brevity Anderson. And as I travel around the continent, particularly, I am puzzled by things I see, frustrated in the fact that we're not headed for anywhere better if we remain like we do, especially the young people. I do think that irrespective of where anyone is, that the responsibility to change your life more than ever before has never been easier. It means Langua in Abia State or Bakinkura in Bauchi State, that you can change your life from where you're at by simply committing to self-development, showing loyalty to other people and society. So therefore, I would think that the first would be having faith in God, commitment to self, loyalty to people and society, learn, practice, and repeat. If you did these things, you see that your life in the shortest possible time would transition. An incapable, a mind or a person who hasn't transitioned his status to a better status cannot even improve society or better the continent. So before we go to the continent-wide change, the question would be, to what degree are we committing to self-reinvention, self-development, self-betterment? Life presented all of us with the opportunity to better it by the day. Some are probably sleeping on it. Others are probably doing to the degree they can. Others would say that there are reasons for which they haven't emerged, whether on account of I was born poor, I have limitations, I don't have money to go to school, or I live in a very interior village in the downside of town where nothing really happens. I'm not as exposed to opportunities as I should. If you find excuses, you would get them. But if you decide that irrespective, I will change my life, you can change your life. The world is now, so meaning that decide to be, even with me, if you decide to be a techie this day and time, that you can be wherever you are and you earn as much globally like anyone else, whether in Canada, in Dubai, anywhere. Because nobody asks you who your parents are, where you're coming from. They only ask you, what are you able to do? What are you really able to do? So you ask yourself, what do I have capacity for? Have I spent my previous years? How am I spending my current year? Are things likely to be better for me if I continued this way? I am telling you, my dear people, I do not even care about how the global status of things or the continent-wide status of things are. My commitment is to each. If one can reach one, then all can reach many. And then gradually we change the dynamics and we change the current status of the African continent. But let me tell you also that the world is moving fast and they are not waiting for African youth, but they are not waiting for Africa. If we continue in this disposition, we would always be where we're at and will never make sense of our lives. We'll never make sense of our lives. So let me give you a practical way by which you can work things out. If you had a laptop and you decided that what I want to do is Just stay in the focused area, just an area. And you watched YouTube videos of that particular skill or whatever, venture, whatever it is, and you consistently pursue it and do it. I give you 6 months, you would have gained mastery of that and you become a dominant force in that regard. Let's not come speak over our shoulders and feel elated, feel puffed, feel motivated. And people go back sleeping, doing nothing, living in poverty, staying sick, beholding their family and friends, even in a worse circumstance. You must say, today I go on and I want to change. Today I would impact my world by impacting on myself. The greatest thing you can do is self reinvention, reinvention. How can you reinvent yourself? From when you wake up, you can start each day that I'll get my bed laid. I wake up every 5 o'clock. People have not put order to their lives, and you can never be better off if there is no order to your life. Routine changes us. If you were up every 5 o'clock and you had whatever it is that you worship and you had your devotion or your quiet time, and at 6 you were up to exercise or you do it, and you do this consistently over time, you have orderly life. Your thinking faculty will be better. Your disposition to life will be better. Your approach and reaction to people will not be erratic. So I think that for Africa to rise, the youth must commit to self first. Because if Melchizedek is doing well wherever he is and committing to influencing his world, and Ernest is where he is in Abuja, anywhere else, and he's influencing. Yebo is in Kenya doing as much, influencing people. And Praise is doing how much in her school, anywhere. You see, gradually we're impacting on people, changing lives, and the continent is getting better. But we try and like to pass the ball, the responsibility. And so it's because we've had bad leaders. Oh, yeah, I quite agree. But then what can you do? What should we do? So there are quite a couple of ways that you can actually do things. Like I told you, learn, practice, repeat. That's how you gain mastery. Learn, practice, repeat. Very easy, easy. If you did this consistently, after a short time, you gain mastery. When you gain mastery, you start passing on the same kind of knowledge. I decided to take in a few number of young persons and put them through a little bit of a scholarship program. It wasn't an academic program, right? I don't care about people going to school and coming out and join the other park. Empowering them, got them a system, got them some sign-ons with some platforms, likes of Udemy. So these are various platforms I can see you can learn something. There is a platform called Udemy. You can actually acquire skills on Udemy. YouTube is one of them. You can acquire skills on YouTube. Coursera. Coursera is a platform where you can get certifications of any kind. Even for people in Africa, you don't have to pay. You just say, I am from a poor community and I don't have money to pay. They allow you to take the course free of charge and you get certified. And you can get these certificates from the choicest of universities around the world. University of Pennsylvania, Stanford University, a host of them are there, MIT, even Harvard. You can from your interior village. If you had access to sign on to these Zoom call now, it means that you can also be able to sign on to any of these platforms and get the certification. You can Khan Academy is one of them. Google Learnings are also there. If you deploy all of these things and commit that each day I would learn, in a short time, your life will change. People will think you have a global exposure, academic exposure. Yes, of course you did. You may not have gone to America, but you were taught by systems of sorts. So I think that if we can stretch, irrespective of your current limiting challenges, you need to stretch. You need to stay focused. You need to work hard, stay focused. Moving in life is hard. You just don't wish it and it happens. It is hard. And you have to commit to it. But I tell you, hard times can never, can never overpower a mind that is committed to change. If you commit to change your circumstance, the vicissitudes of life will not put you down. Don't let your background put your back on the ground. Commit to say, I will rise and rise. When you say you will rise, rise. If you want to rise in the morning, 5 o'clock, rise at 5 o'clock. Don't give your body to laziness, to lack, to impoverished circumstance. Commit to say that this is the life I want to live. And within the shortest possible time, you'll be amazed how you change your life. I'm not reading out things I have read to you. I'm telling you things that I have done to my life. I'm telling you things that I have done that changed my life. Because if you want to know a bit of my story, I was studying geology in a particular university in Nigeria, and at some point I had to drop off because because I couldn't hear from my parents, and I had a bit of a challenge. And then I left school, right? And I went to work. While I was working, I took on to another degree where I went to study economics. But for me to be able to study economics, I had to write WAEC again because now I cannot be working and be studying a science course. Now, while I was working, I was studying economics, course that I should have done 4 years. I spent on doing a lot more many years. But you see, it wasn't about the school I went to, it was about my commitment to a better life. I read books. I committed to a better life. I decided that I wanted anyone who came in contact with me to know that this guy was a smart, very, very refined mind, irrespective. Those parents who were my parents who were probably not able to help at that time because they also were bedeviled by circumstances at that time. I'd improved their lives. I'd built them a house. I'd committed to a better life for them. You can commit to change the circumstance of your own life, your families, your community, your continent. If you say, I would rise, you would rise. But don't forget what I told you: faith in God, commitment to self, loyalty to people and society. And lastly, you must learn, you should practice, and you would have to repeat it. Consistently, if you did all these things, your life would turn around. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not how long I speak today that will cause the change that we must experience in Africa. It is the commitment that you give to yourself today and say, well, I heard Ernest, but of all the stupid, senseless things he said is the fact that he said I should commit to myself. Go today, commit to yourself. Don't pass the bulk and responsibility of why your life is the way it is on anybody else. Take responsibility and say, it is this way because I haven't done anything about it. But today, I'll do something about it. And if you did, your life will turn around. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that the few minutes that I've spent speaking with you will not be in futility. If it does work for you, oh, hula woo, congratulations. If it doesn't work, it's because you didn't do anything. Professor Diaka, everyone have their stories. She couldn't have been a professor if she didn't come into our life. We all have our stories. If she told you her story, you'd be amazed. It's not because things fell on their laps. You must commit to it. Commitment is commitment to society and to country at large. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and have a great day.
Wow, amazing. That was powerful. And I'm so grateful, sir, for how you dished out to us not